What up, Internet? I'm Gigs, and this is Marking Out. By the way, eventually I do plan on getting a hold of some video editing software because unfortunately my version of Windows doesn't come with Windows Movie Maker, so I can't just use that. But I plan on getting a title card up in that bitch. It hasn't happened yet, obviously. This week was, another pretty good week in wrestling. They all are for me. Especially since I started watching NXT. Now, I'm not going to add NXT to my review, just like I don't do Ring of Honor review on here or NWA review. I'm just, reviewing the main two shows of WWE, especially since, I don't know about you guys, but I can't get main event in my area. I don't know why. I watch the Saturday Morning Slam, even on days like today when there's actually only one match on the whole show. But, yeah. So I watch pretty much all the wrestling that's available in my area, but I'm not going to review all of it. I don't have time for that shit. But on to the review of this week's Raw, Impact, and SmackDown. Now, Raw, before I even get into any results or anything, I'm just going to put out there, I obviously, like everybody else out there, thought CM Punk was going to come out and drop a pipe bomb. Thought there was going to be a big respect talk or something like that. Man, they swerved the hell out of me. I didn't even think it was scripted. I thought he went out there with something scripted and then said fuck it and walked out. I really did. And a couple buddies of mine did too. Until a couple days later, the dirt sheets basically put out there that no, that was in fact scripted to go down the way it was. So well done, WWE Creative, on that one. You really fucking threw me for a loop. It scared the shit out of me. I thought CM Punk was just walking out and done. But, he is gone for a while. Looks like he's going to be back sometime around SummerSlam. So, around 5 months from now. Jesus Christ. It's a long fucking time for no damn Punk. We need that motherfucker. Bright side, it looks like RVD may have signed a 2-year contract. Again, this is from the dirt sheets, so I can't say for sure, and but it looks like RVD might have signed a 2-year contract with WWE. RVD's been doing a good job over there at TNA, so I know what he's currently doing. I know his current in-ring skill set. I know how he looks currently in the ring, and he's still looking good. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've actually, been an RVD fan since way back in the old school days of ECW, which real quick reminds me, this isn't part of the review, but got me a DVD used yesterday at this place. If you're in Ohio, Kettering Game Swap actually has a section of DVDs. It's a mixed bag of UFC and wrestling, which I told them didn't make sense while I was there. I was like, by the way, you guys should probably recategorize this. I don't know what you should put UFC with, but honestly, wrestling belongs more over with kung fu movies. Dude laughed and said, yeah, that or with the sitcoms or soap operas, which made me giggle a bit, but I was like, oh, well, to me, it's more kung fu movie. Anyway, I got that DVD for like $4, $4.99, I think, actually. So if you're in the area, support local business, run over to Kettering Game Swap, get their wrestling shit. They even have one wrestling action figure right now. They're out of most of them. They've got more, but they're not for sale. They have like Ultimate Warrior statues and shit up on display. But they do have I believe it was Road Warrior Hawk action figure in that piece. So yeah, stop by, support local business. Other than that, they have horror shit, they have comic book shit, they have video games. It's a fucking cool store. And then Mavericks is 2 doors down, which is also a very cool store. So, sorry about that. Back to wrestling. This week on Raw, other than, what we thought was going to be a pipe bomb turned out to be something completely different. Fandango came out, didn't get quite the reaction that he'd gotten before, although Fandangoing is still trending worldwide, so he's got that going for him. I didn't like Fandango before I saw him wrestle, but dude's got some in-ring skill. And since Fandangoing became a trend, now the gimmick's kind of amusing me. It's actually been, things like the cheerleaders and the PETA video, everybody doing the fandangoing videos, that's made me like the gimmick. Um, it's fun to sing along with. The little dance that everybody does that's horrible is hilarious. Which is weird because I don't usually get into that shit. I hated the Harlem Shake videos. Anyway, there was the Orton Sheamus Big Show handicap match set up by Booker T that Big Show wasn't happy about because he didn't like handicap matches. And Orton and Sheamus defeated Big Show. There was Kofi Kingston came out and defeated Antonio Cesaro for the United States Championship. I like Cesaro. He's a damn good wrestler, but Kofi's pretty good as well. It's about time that Kofi went back to being on more of a push as opposed to just jobbing like he has been doing. So that's good to see. I do love the high-flying wrestling. Team Hell No defeated the Primetime Jobbers. Of course, Primetime players. I honestly don't like those guys, but, they're definitely kind of being used. Although, then they announced that next week we're having the Brothers of Destruction and Daniel Bryan versus the Shield match, which, God, I'm so pumped for Monday. Like, that's going to be fucking amazing. I got buddies coming over to watch it and shit. It's a special SmackDown for me. R-Truth defeated Wade Barrett. I do like R-Truth. I like Wade Barrett better, though. It's kind of weird that as soon as he gets his title back, he starts losing. Team Rhodes Scholars defeated Kali and Santino Marella, which is good because, Kali and Santino Marella they're just a couple comedy acts, and there's not really a whole lot of depth to the characters. Rhodes Scholars, however, very well developed characters, and also kind of comedy, but, much better. They're not to the point of Hell No comedy, but definitely better than Kali and Santino. Nikki Bella defeated Caitlyn. It's kind of cool to see the Bella twins back. And that was Raw. So on Impact, the Aces and Eights continuing to play dirty and run TNA. Loving it. I love heel factions, and I love especially when heel factions are on top. You got Devon Dudley as the television champion, president of Aces and Eights. Bully Ray is still the world heavyweight champion. It's definitely going well. So in the beginning they had, requested handicap match. Kurt Angle wanted to teach Garrett Bischoff and Briscoe a lesson, and instead what happened was they got slid a chain, they knocked him the fuck out, and beat his ass. Like I said, they play dirty, but they win. There's an X Division triple threat match. X Division's pretty cool. To me, it's like their version of NXT, but they actually get a spot on the show as opposed to having their own show, which, don't get me wrong, I love NXT as its own show, but that's basically what X Division feels like to me. It feels like TNA is developmental. That's where, Austin Aries came up from X Division, was the X Division champion forever until he took the World Heavyweight Championship in TNA after making the main roster. So it was between Kenny King, the current X Division champ, P.D. Williams, and Zema Ion, coming out with the hairspray or whatever. All very talented wrestlers. Kenny King ended up pulling out the win and, retained his title. Magnus was supposed to have a shot at the television title against Devon, but got jumped by the Shield. Canceled that match, so they decided to put Samoa Joe in and make it the main event. Then they had the Knockouts match between Miss Tessmacher and Mickie James. Mickie James pulled out the win on that one, making her the #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship. And then finally, at the end of that, you got, Devon and Samoa Joe coming out for the television championship match. Brass knuckles to the back of the dome. They distracted the ref. My dude, the asshole, Mr. Anderson, jumped in, punched Samoa Joe in the back of the head. Ref turns back around, 1, 2, 3. It's a win. They play dirty, but they win. I love Aces and Eights. Throw up the little gang sign or whatever. And then there was SmackDown last night. On SmackDown, you got Fandango fighting against Santino Marella. Santino had me rolling. I'm not gonna lie. He was very funny last night. Fandango pulls out the win, of course. Kofi defeats Wade Barrett in a champion versus champion match. You know, that's always fun to see, even if it is the mid card championship. It's nice to see champions actually getting out there and fighting. Del Rio defeated Swagger. That rivalry and feud is, you know, it's still pretty entertaining with the whole Swagger xenophobia, racism, all-American patriot thing. Still, I mean, he's a hell of a heel. You know what I mean? He's definitely bringing the heat very easily. Del Rio being the immigrant hero in it, it's pretty entertaining. A lot of people don't like that storyline. Personally, I'm rather digging it, and I especially like, you know, that they're bringing other elements into it. Other people vying for attention in that feud. Del Rio. So after Del Rio defeats Swagger, they got Kali and Hornswoggle and Natalya come back out. And they end up defeating Primo, Epico, and Rosa. That one was kind of, you know, whatever. Wasn't too pumped about that match, but it still turned out to be a pretty decent match. And, you know, there's a lot of the big Kali chops. After that, the final shot on SmackDown was Mark Henry and Big Show defeating Orton and Sheamus. By the way, the Teddy Long heel turn is kind of amusing the crap out of me as well. They were originally thinking about having Booker T be a heel, which, you know, we've all seen Booker T be a heel. He's a good heel. And then they decided they wanted Teddy to do it, which, you know, kind of makes sense. He's the underling, and one easy way for him to turn heel is to just constantly be doing shit without Booker T's authorization. And, you know, I was just looking out for you, Blade. But, so Teddy Long set up that match, pissing Booker T off again. Overall, you know, like I said, pretty good week in wrestling. I really, really, really can't wait till tomorrow, though. And not tomorrow, Monday. And any of you guys that aren't psyched about, by the way, you know, without even saying anything else on that, just out of curiosity, if you leave it in the comments, you know, those of you guys that watch this, and any new viewers I pick up this week, which of the two things amuses you more about the joke that's been going around the internet regarding Kane, Undertaker, and Daniel Bryan? Do you prefer the brother of destruction, adopted stepchild of destruction joke, or the 2.5 Men? Both of them had me pretty much cracking up. Some of the more amusing, you know, content to come out of wrestling memes recently. A lot of it's really funny, but those two particularly have me rolling, and I can't decide which one of the two jokes I prefer. So, anyway it goes. I'm Gigs, and this has been Marking Out.